Hi, I'm Miles and this is Auto-Minded. There's a lot of buzz going around right now about Ford leaving its old headquarters, a place called the Glass House. And this coin right here plays a role in a really cool side story. But to tell that, we first have to go way back and really discuss both the influence and the generosity of the Ford family. We all know Henry Ford's the patriarch of the family, but we'll never discount the legacies that came after him both inside and outside of the automotive industry. His son Edsel Ford liked the art so much he let it influence car design. He was a co-founder of the Ford Foundation, and when multiple banks in Detroit were going under, he consolidated them into stability with the Manufacturers Bank. And the next generation took this idea of style, philanthropy, and business to a whole new level. I'm specifically talking about Henry Ford II and the Renaissance Center. This 7-building complex is certainly not a charity, but what it was a recognition that Detroit needed a shot in the arm in the late 60s and early 70s. So Ford got all the big businesses together to revitalize downtown with a great big prestigious beacon right there on the shores of the Detroit River. And to bring real business back to Detroit, Ford even announced they were taking a high-profile part in the building. It likely wasn't going to take the place of the Glass House, but it certainly was going to take away some of the prestige. So what does it all have to do with this coin right here? Well, this coin has to do with the beginning of Lorenzen. It was a token for one of the first tenants who moved their headquarters there. And who is it? It's a Manufacturers Bank. And we remember who started that, right? So this coin really shows that kickoff to the commitment to downtown Detroit. Unfortunately, by the time Ford's building was completed in around 1980, well, the economy still wasn't very good, and so Ford actually announced that they weren't going to take quite as many people over to the Renaissance. And so rather than Ford being the big one at the Renaissance, we know that in 1996 General Motors bought it and made it their world headquarters. So that meant the Glass House remained Ford's crown jewel for many more decades, and that's probably where a lot of the nostalgia comes from today. But now General Motors is moving out of the Renaissance, about the same time Ford is moving out of the Glass House. So those original buildings at the Renaissance Center, their fate feels a little bit like a coin flip. But the happier, sort of more interesting part of the story, I think, is that it feels like the Glass House basically almost outlived one of its intended successors. And that's what makes this coin so much fun. It tells the whole story. It's a reminder of the unique influence of the Ford family. It represents the opening of the Renaissance Center. And it's an interesting side tale about auto giants and their headquarters. That's what we're all about. Thanks for watching.